Welcome back to Buckets WNBA edition. I am your host, Jim Turvey. We are here for another Tuesday episode. You know what that means? We got Dano Mataya in the house. Dano, last time we were here, we discussed doing a little mailbag, did our first bunch. We got plenty more. We're going to do some in the second half of this podcast. You gave out your winners. You were so nice to set up some really cool rewards, treats. What do we call these? Prizes, I guess is the right word here. For some of the winners, you want to shout out any of the winners real briefly? I don't know if you have that on you or anything. But we had a couple of nice winners who took home some cool stuff from our little mailbag giveaway.
Yeah, I just spun the wheel, and we were just doing first name and last initial.
So we don't. Yeah, this is not. We don't. Maybe we don't even have to shout them out. But if you're out there and you want a prize, make sure you send Dano.
Thank you. Amanda S won a Rakia card, and Michelle S won a box of Prism cards, and Tony M won a Kelsey Plum autographed jersey.
Nice.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll do some more stuff. I didn't win my picks last week, so no plays, but we had some good stuff this week. I will be happy to include everybody who submitted a question.
Love that.
So we'll make it happen.
We did stay alive in our Survivor, so we'll continue on with our Survivor. And we got another nice 5-game slate. But before we get to that slate, I just want to say football season is here. We don't talk a ton of football on the Buckets NBA podcast, but I assume plenty of you listening are football fans. We got some big improvements and updates coming in the award-winning Action Network app. Very excited to discuss in the weeks ahead. So to get the most out of the app, you still need to be an Action Pro subscriber. So we teased out the Action Pro subscription for a lot of what it allows you to do with the WNBA bidding. This is the Action Pro stuff that's going to get you those football tools this fall. The Action Pro subscription will get you real-time pick alerts from folks such as myself, Sean Kerner. He logged his first preseason bet the other day. I tailed it. It was a winner. That was excellent to see. Love the NFL preseason for that. Plus, you can get access to pro projections. Again, Sean Kerner and predictive analytics team, plus a lot of other benefits. Right now, Buckets WNBA listeners can save $20 off the annual price of Action Pro. Just go to actionnetwork.com/pro and use promo code Buckets20, actionnetwork.com/pro. Use code Buckets20 for $20 off an annual subscription price of Action Pro. With that said, let's get into the Tuesday slate. I'm going to do what I've been doing lately, run down the full list of the 5 games, kind of set the scene for the spread, the total, who's in, who's out injury-wise, and then we'll do some best bets. So first game of the night, we got the Dallas Wings at the New York Liberty. Liberty minus 9.5. Total there's 175. Liberty facing a lot of injuries. They still have Stewie, Kennedy Burke, Miara Sabally all out. For Dallas, they're mostly healthy. They got Maisha Hines-Allen questionable. And obviously Dejanay Carrington traded away recently. So that's, a player who is now off their roster. Second game, we got Washington at Chicago. Chicago is an 8-point home underdog. Total there's 157.5. Washington fully healthy. They haven't had too many games where they're fully healthy. That's great to see for Chicago. No Angel Reese, and then trio of players questionable: Ariel Atkins, Michaela Onyewere, and Haley Van Lith, all questionable. Marquee game of the night, slightly less marquee because of a star player being out, but still pretty good. We've got the Lynx at the Storm. Storm minus 1.5, totals 156.5. That star player is Nafise Collier, obviously, if you watched over the weekend. Really frustrating to see her in a blowout game get injured. Looks like not as bad as it could have been, but she'll probably still miss a couple weeks. We'll be talking about that in the second half of the podcast, so make sure you stick around for that. Seattle fully healthy. All systems go there. Next game, we got 2 teams fully healthy, which you love to see. Connecticut Sun at Phoenix. Phoenix is a 15-point favorite, minus 15, total of 167.5. Satu Sabally was out last game. We can maybe kind of touch on that in the cap. I know you've got a bet on this game, but everyone's back and all systems go for both teams there. Then finally, we've got the Fever at the Sparks. Fever 1.5-point favorites on the road, total of 176. Only player missing in this one is the big name, Caitlin Clark, remains out. LA is fully healthy, and the Fever otherwise are healthy. So all that said, Dano, what are your Tuesday best bets?
My Tuesday best bets. I am taking... And granted, I have not done well with the Sun. Any bets regarding Sun games this year, but I am taking the Phoenix Mercury in the first half, -9. And the second game, I'll be betting the Seattle Storm on the money line. And I can't wait to shit all over Seattle.
I would say
But
another team that you have at least publicly given a lot of crap to over the course of the season. So excited for those two caps. My best bets, Indiana, LA, under 176. Kayla McBride, under 17.5 points. And Azrae Stevens, under 8.5 rebounds. Let's go to your Connecticut at Phoenix bet. Let's talk about this first half here. Phoenix, I think did you say -9 in the first half? What's standing out to you about this bet here?
Okay, so Connecticut is coming off a 6-game homestand. I was looking at all the schedules, all the teams this year who've had at least 4 games at home before going on the road. They are 4-8 against the spread when they go on the road for that first game. The Mercury had a close one with this team, so I know that they'll take them somewhat seriously. I think the window of opportunity for MVP is wide open. I don't care what people say, it's wide open. We have no idea the severity of that injury, but we'll get to that. So I think a big game from AT is in order. I think Satu sitting out last game and the team, I think they got up by as much as 30 on the Sky, is good enough to let me know that they're back. I think I tweeted I'm falling out of love with the Phoenix Mercury in their game against the Dream, where Satu did not play in the second half before being ruled out for personal injuries against Chicago, or personal reasons. And I'll be at this game. If you're in Phoenix and you listen to this, say hello. We'll gladly buy you a drink and cheer on this first half bet. I for people who follow Spread the Floor, I was on the Liberty -11.5 in that back-to-back in Connecticut, up by 17 with 2 minutes to go in Connecticut. I mean, I think Sanaya Rivers scored all her 7 points in the fourth quarter. It's like the second time she's hit a 3 in the last minute to kill one of my bets this season. Weird stuff happens with that team. They foul like crazy, but that's also a super long way to travel. I think we saw the Valks travel to all the way to Sun for that first game, which probably, it's not equal distance, but it's definitely close. And they got blasted by 30. I don't know what time this game will be on their, for them, on their body clocks, but I think that Phoenix they had the perfect get right opportunity. They got right. Time to continue the momentum before the Fever come to town on Thursday.
And you're targeting first half because of some of that stuff late game.
Yeah,
with
dude,
I'm and all that.
I'm not
messing around with that.
I'm not getting screwed again. And if the Mercury do come out flat,
it's going to be hard to get to 15 anyways.
Yeah, but I've no problem chasing live with this team, anyone against the Sun. But I do worry about, Tina did not play well against them in the first game, which is surprising because we've seen some bigs eat against this team. But Ono played well, Olivia Nelson-Ododa, and maybe we see more Kalani Brown. But yeah, it was a ugly game. They almost covered at the end, but never really were in control. The Sun just would not die. So the Sun are due to get blasted again at some point, and I got to get one of these right with them. So that's how I feel.
I like it. Yeah, I'd be on that side as well. I'm curious to see what Satu looks like in this first game back, quote unquote. She got benched for a half and then didn't play a game. We really hear if that was her decision and she was frustrated about being benched. I don't want to even speculate. We didn't hear she just missed the game. Now she's back. So
she's 0 for 15 from 3, her last 4 games. She's been terrible. I think she's shooting less than 30% from the field. Just been real rough. So I mean, if there's anyone due for a big scoring night, it's probably her. I think she's part of their plans long term. I mean, granted, everyone's a free agent after this season, but she's part of the core. Ka's been fantastic for the most part, shooting well, attacking well. My love isn't dead for this team. It's like they're I feel like I was on Love Island. They're exploring options, but they came back to me. So we're gonna give it a shot.
I love it. We'll talk more Phoenix in the second half. There's a couple questions that touch on them. Why don't we stick with you? Why don't we go with your second bet here? Seattle, a team that has definitely frustrated me, and I know frustrates you often. But you're going back to the well. No fee. Seattle at home. Why do you like the money line here?
I mean, to act like fee isn't important is ridiculous.
Yeah.
She's a leading MVP candidate for a reason. This team's had 2 heartbreak losses. Well, I would say the Fever was heartbreak, but they have not been great. I've been loving fading this team and playing them when the time is right. But if you look at their last few home games, they got blasted by the Wings, 87-63. That's when they came out super flat in the second half. Or the game before that, they blew a fourth quarter 10-point lead to the Mystics. Went on the road for 3 games where they once again lost to the Mystics, blew out the sky, blew out the sun, had that heartbreaker against the Sparks at home in double overtime, and then almost had a crazy comeback at the end there. Had like 5 looks from 3 at it. I think they were 2 for 15 from 3 in the game. They've beaten this team with fee before. Okay, I mean, like I don't want to say like this is the new Seattle, this is who they are. But like, I feel like this is a huge game and a huge opportunity for this team. For me, it's like total spot play. It's a game you got to have. You go back on the road after this for what are going to be probably 2 tough games with the Aces, the Sparks. So you can knock off, the best team in the league, get some confidence back. I think that's going to be huge for them. And I would I'd make this game probably the line it's at, maybe -1. But you're at home. You do have a historically good crowd, and you haven't given them much to cheer about lately. So really, really just a spot play for me, and the fact that the best player in the league is not playing.
Yeah. As a Storm futures better, got that win total, got them to make the playoffs. Both are looking decent, but man, those last couple games were brutal. That Sparks game was incredibly fun. I went till like almost 1 a.m. Eastern time. I usually don't have if I'm up that late, I usually don't have something to watch. So that was kind of fun. That was a fun night of W in general there that night. All right, let me slide over to some of my picks. I'll lead with the total, which Dano has warned me there's some sharks swimming around in the waters of the over. I'm gonna run this back though. This is kind of a look that I'm going for with Cameron Brink being back. I think last game artificially deflated a little bit, and she got into foul trouble. Now with Brink, that's always a problem. She fouls early often. And she gets called for a lot, so she's still kind of paying that rookie tax a little bit. But those are legit fouls. I think in this matchup, we're gonna see her stay on the court a little bit longer, and every minute she's on the court is better for the LA defense. The last game against Seattle that we just mentioned obviously flew over, in part because of the double overtimes. It did clear in regulation, but thanks in part to kind of the 2 teams trading baskets in the final minute. For most of the game, it was tracking towards an under. A little surprised to see all the steam get it up to 176 here, but it looks like it's kind of pivoting around that 176. I saw 175.5 pop up. So I think if you want to be on the under, that 176 is right around the target to hop on. It's always hard to know, when it's going to, what number it's going to reach. You don't want to like hit it and then have it keep going above. I think we're right around that pivot point right now. Indiana's defense has just been solid all season as well. They are playing a pretty quick pace, even without Caitlin, and they've looked really good lately. They're up to 17-12. Their record with Caitlin, I think, is actually now worse than their record without her, which is pretty incredible. We'll talk a little bit about Steph White later. She's caught in some heat on our podcast before, but she's doing a pretty good job with this squad right now. Leah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, Natasha Howard is playing outstanding. But I think this matchup, I really like the under here, especially as it inflated up. I think we're getting it at kind of its peak right now, and I think it's only going to come down a little bit. So, did you have any thoughts on this one, or just the be wary with some sharp folks on the over?
Yeah, the Fever defense looks pretty good. The last few games with these two teams have been like really close. So like I don't know, I always look to middle everything I do, but if it is looking close and there's going to be a ton of free throws, etc.
Yeah,
just look for that. But it's a game of the night. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's pretty even. The Sparks are playing great. Fever playing great. Fever is so hot right now. Who would you take sidewise?
It's a great question. I lean towards the Sparks. I'm pretty interested in the Sparks team right now. They're up to 12 and 15. I know that Indiana has been playing outstanding without Caitlin, and that they are a solid team. A little bit of it feels a little fool's gold to me. It's not shooting luck. I mean, some of it is Sophie Cunningham can't miss a three, and I think that's not going to stick around forever. But Sophie's a good shooter. I just don't think with the looks that she's getting, in this offense, that she'll continue hitting at this clip per se. But I lean towards the Spark side. Would you have a lean either way in this game?
I think so as well. And like seeing Demir Stantis play well pisses me off. Having had them against I forgot who it was. I'm pretty sure it was Buckets play. Against the Libs. I think she was like a minus 18. They were winning like the entire game until the end of the third, and Demir Stantis was like just came in and was horrible. And she
got blitzed.
She did turnaround jumpers and getting rebounds, hitting threes like the last few games. So I don't know. I mean, it's two good teams. I don't really think LA has any kind of home court advantage. It's just like people go, but
yeah.
So we'll see. But no, yeah, I think I'm with you. I lean Sparks.
We'll stay in that game, actually. And I've got Azurá Stevens under 8.5 rebounds. Cam Brink plays a role here. So, like I said, her minutes last game looked to have kind of like deflated. So I think she played around 13 her first game. It was down around 12 the second game. But I think that a lot of that was foul trouble. I think she could actually get up to around 16, 17 minutes. And obviously, anytime she's on the court is going to hurt Azuré's rebounding. We've seen that in the on-off numbers this season. It's a very, very small sample, but I mean, it just makes logical sense if you're playing. It's going to probably be less minutes for Azurá by maybe a minute or two, and you're playing next to one of the tallest players in the league. She's only cleared this 8.5 number in 11 of 27 games, anyways. Indiana allows the second fewest rebounds overall, so it's a tough matchup even before we get to the Cameron Brink of it all. So I'm gonna go for that under, and then final game, I'm circling back to, or final bet here, circling back to your Minnesota and Seattle game to talk about Kayla McBride here. So this is kind of a zag play. Obviously, Nafisa Collier is out. They inflated her line, Kayla McBride's points line. I think thinking that, Fee is out. That's a lot of usage that's up for grabs. The only thing is Kayla McBride's usage doesn't really go up with Fee off the court. Stays pretty flat. I think a lot of her looks come off of Fee drawing attention in the post, kickouts that Kayla is able to take advantage of. This is a really tough Seattle defense, second best in the league on the perimeter. They're pretty good. They're very good at taking away the three. That's what Kayla does so well. We saw her absolutely destroy the Aces over the weekend. By the way, how did I not bet the Lynx versus the Aces? I so much regret on talking myself out of somehow the Aces looking good with Jewel off the bench. Just an idiotic non-bet from me.
And then I think I hammered the Aces at like 3 different numbers the next day because it's like how I think both teams who have lost by 40 plus this year have covered the next game. And
I need to incorporate more of that because I was on the Valks when it got out to 1. I again faded the steam once it got out to 8 because I do think the Valkyries in a vacuum are about as good as the Aces. But I ignored the spot, and it was a classic get right spot for the Aces.
Yeah, I also didn't see Jewel Lloyd like hitting 9 threes or whatever. But
exactly,
yeah, Aces scoring 100 points, ridiculous.
Yeah, we'll see. The Aces are joining the group of difficult. Although I guess that was, if you pay attention, that was a good read, maybe an obvious read. So, but yeah, Kayla McBride again, mostly a zag off of them bumping her points up. I would have loved if we got an 18.5. This would probably be like a real hammer spot. 17.5, I don't hate, but that is that nice juicy 18 to go over with multiples of 3. But again, Seattle's very good at limiting or at least keeping those threes down in general. So I'll go on the under there. Do you have any thoughts on this play here?
I mean, I would play the under after what she just did.
Yeah, it come back to earth, basically. She just went absolute bananas, zagged back the other way, especially with Fee out and them inflating the line.
For sure.
Do we want to, I have for my survivor play, we'll touch on Dallas and New York. For yours, I'm now zoning on what your survivor play was. Are we going to talk any Washington and Chicago or no?
I can't bet Chicago. I no problem betting the team total under every game. And
yeah.
I took an over the other day because I thought the Valks, and I was following this trend of teams on back-to-backs, but yeah, I mean, I think the Mystics should clear. Like, I might end up betting
Washington side as well. Like 8 points is a lot at home, but I kind of think Atkins is more like a 40% more than a 60% save. Guessing injuries is tricky, and it's definitely not my specialty. But with Atkins and Reese out, the Chicago team total under is just automatic fire. Washington's a really good defense, so I do lean towards the Washington side there. Let's go on to Survivor, though. I mentioned that my Survivor is from the Dallas-New York game. I've got Sabrina Ionescu. Let me set the table here. We're down to minus 250 or shorter odds. Dano and I are both still alive in this. It's starting to get a little tight. We might kind of go minus 250 to minus 200 to minus 175. And eventually, it's just going to be basically an even money bet. We can't cut it by 25. We gotta. Let's get through minus 250. Yeah, you're right. I'm getting ahead of myself. The gods will answer the question at some point anyway. So we're going to do minus 250 here. We're doing Sabrina 20 plus, minus 230 on DraftKings. So she's averaging 27.4 points per game since Stewie went out of the lineup. I think Dallas could keep this game close. I honestly would lean maybe towards a Slate Dallas side here. I was impressed with Emma. The Liberty with Emma did look pretty good. She looked great. But I do think this Dallas team is not terrible, but their defense is pretty bad, especially in the backcourt. Sabrina's just on a heater right now. She's kind of making up for all the struggles she had kind of midseason. And she's just been absolutely balling out. So getting her 20 plus and minus 230 is going to be my survivor play. Dano, do you have a look here, or are you kind of debating between a couple?
No, I am debating. I was just going to say it's like Sabrina at 20 plus fame minus 230 a month back would be wild.
It would be bananas. It would be plus 230.
I'm going to play something from the Phoenix game because I'm there. I'm going to be there. I'm going to use another idol that I found. This is real Jeff.
This is not a real idol. I can just see Jeff saying this is not a real idol.
Jim, AT 8 plus rebounds or 8 plus assist against the Sun?
I think in a blowout type game, I want the AT assists. I kind of think in general that when they are big favorites, when close tight games, I would go with the points, maybe even the rebounds. But I think in a game like this is when she kind of spreads the wealth. I believe she had 11 assists last time they played the Sun.
She did.
I think the 8 plus assists is pretty solid there.
That's what we're doing. Minus 220.
Love it. Talked you into Bantam last time. It did work out. But this is brilliant marketing from you to put me somewhat on the hook deciding these. But we're looking good.
I love them both. Okay. Trust me. AT
in general.
18 month is August. Okay.
And remind the listeners what your ticket you're sitting on for MVP?
Yeah. 120 to 1.
Yeah. That's not looking too bad. It's like
I posted in the action app.
Yep. I hope the people are following.
I hope we get 60 units off this. Yeah. And I mean, like, honestly, we can touch on it later about how I'm going to handle this. That's a good tease because we'll get there in a second. This is plus 104. If we parlay these two, that's about what we were at last week. Hopefully we have similar success and get to figure out what we want to jump to next without getting too far ahead of ourselves. So let's get into the second half of the podcast here. So we're going to do more mailbag questions. We've got so many good mailbag questions. This one made sense today.
just went with awards. Basically, had 4, 5, 6 questions about awards. So I was like, all right, let's do a little awards pod. I'm actually saving one for later in the week. There's one that I really want to talk about a little bit more in depth, really dive deep on. But we're going to touch on MVP. We're going to touch on DPOI. We're going to touch on Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year, and then one that's not a real award, but I thought was kind of fun. So we'll touch on those. So let's start off with MVP. We were just kind of teasing it. Devlin asked, with upsets over the weekend, and now this was last weekend when Devlin submitted it, but why do you think the books are still undervaluing the Mercury for champs and Alyssa Thomas for MVP? Now, Alyssa Thomas for MVP is no longer being undervalued. It is now, what was the exact, is it plus 250 now, I believe it's sitting at? Mercury for champs, on the other end, as maybe you've gotten even a little bit longer, they looked a little sketchy. I think you and I still really like that team and still think that there's probably value in looking at them in general and thinking of this as kind of a 3-team race. Atlanta's definitely popped their head in. Maybe, you talked me into them last week. Maybe this is a 4-team race, but I still think there's some value on Phoenix. So threw a lot at you there. What are your thoughts on this question and Phoenix and Alyssa Thomas as a whole?
I want to get to a question regarding Atlanta at a certain point.
Excellent.
But I don't know if they're being undervalued at this point. They're still a tier, I think, above the non-Lynx Liberty tickets. So
yeah.
I mean, I think I'm not saying that we've spoken into existence, but we were like, barring injury, it's probably Fee. That injury happened.
Yep.
The injury happened when they were up 43.
Yep. In
the third quarter.
10 seconds away from her likely being out for the game. Really, really a bummer to see for her. And like,
Ace's starters were pulled 5 minutes into that quarter.
Coaches love to do this when they're winning by 40 in the third. Just take them out. There's 10 minutes left. They're shorter quarters than ever.
Cheryl Reeve said something along the lines of, I'll get blamed for this and you should. You fucking should.
There's a reason you'll get blamed for it, because you deserve it.
But yeah, I mean, if you didn't take, it's not like I think when AT was 25-1, we said take AT. So, like, I think if you're sitting like that, you're feeling very good. Because, like, say the Lynx do well.
It's the reverse Caitlin narrative that we were talking about earlier, right?
Yeah, well, the Lynx do well. And AT goes, AT does what she's doing right now, which is MVP worthy. Like, I mean, I guess my original point, the Lynx do well. Why would you rush her back?
Yeah.
I mean, like, you have a comfortable cushion. Like, I do not think it's just going to be a miss. I think she's going to miss all the Liberty games in August. What if she doesn't come back 100% too? Like, I mean, that ankle did not look good. She literally had to be assisted all the way to the locker room.
Yeah.
So, if you grabbed AT, good. I don't know if this is a segue into any other players that you think at this point would be worthy of a ticket.
Let's do it.
But before that, my one thing about Atlanta is, are they better without Ryan Howard?
I think it's a very fair question.
My God. I think they might be, unless they're playing the Valks at home. But seriously, yeah. Anyone else? Because there's only one player I could see and talked her up already, but maybe you know who I'm talking about for MVP.
For MVP, are you thinking? It's not Sabrina, is it?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
But I've bet on Sabrina the last 3 years. Just money down the drain.
She is playing out of her mind right now. She's got Stewie out. The usage has been crazy. The Liberty, if they start to take off on a little run, I mean, they have 3 games left with the Lynx. They could theoretically take the 1 seed.
Yeah, I also remember, like, when John Quell was out, everyone was like, dude, John Quell's the most important person on this team. It's like, this team is so good. So many different players step up in different situations, but at full health, I do think it's John Quell. But what Sabrina's doing right now cannot be ignored. Yeah. I think she's on her way. I mean, first team all WNBA. She wasn't last year, which is ridiculous, but she will be this year for sure.
Do you think it'll be her and Gray at the guards?
Yeah.
Because Gray was the other name I was wondering if you were thinking about. I don't think Gray will quite get up there. She doesn't have the stats for it. And Atlanta right now doesn't have the record point for it. But when you first said it, that was the first name that popped in my mind. And I said, oh, I bet it's Sabrina.
But I hope Alicia Gray is honored that you said that, though.
She better be. There was a little buzz of her. There was like a 1 week stretch where it was like, can Gray win MVP? And I was like, no, she can't.
Yeah, and Sabrina's winning Eastern Conference Player of the Week and month left and right. So
yeah, it's an interesting shout, and I think it's obviously AT is the one who's been taking a lot of money. But like we said, Phoenix has had a little bumpy road here. If it's New York that hits the turbo button, they get all three of these games, likely, like you said, against Minnesota without Fee. They could either make it, so they're right there with Minnesota, or potentially even past them. So I think it's an interesting look. Do we have a number on her right now for MVP?
Oh, let me see. I can pull that up real quick.
I will say, so let me go to AT and Fee really quick, because I do think Fee is still the correct to be the favorite. So if you look at stats wise, the kind of the surface level stats, it's 23-8-4 for Fee, 16-8-9 for AT. Those kind of, if you say assist is worth 2 points, something like that, those kind of are even. But then the big difference is kind of the advanced stats. So Fee's worth 7 win shares, AT's worth 4. Now that's partly because Minnesota has been a better team this season. It's pretty comparable. AT has also missed more games than Fee right now. So if Fee only misses 3 to 4 games, and it's kind of nice for Minnesota in that they don't have a very busy schedule the next couple of weeks. They've got basically 4 games out that I think she'll probably miss. If they give the short end, they said 2 weeks, that's missing 4 games. I think it's more likely she misses like 5 to 6. That doesn't make the games played gap massive. It does give the edge to AT, but I think you're fair to bring up what if it lingers? What if they are playing well and they hold her out? I think there are paths to AT, but I think Fee is correctly favored at the moment. Do you think that this is a good buy spot for people who maybe missed out on Fee preseason, got the good AT number? Would you come back with a little bit of Fee?
Wait till AT has multiple triple levels in the next few weeks. And
did we get a Sabrina number?
12-1.
Oh, okay. So it's a little. So the books are a little bit. The books are eyeing her a little bit. That's she's
third favorite, number,
but she's the third favorite. Okay, that makes sense then. Do you have any final either Mercury or MVP thoughts here?
Yeah, it's go time, Mercury. If you're listening, let's go.
Let's do it, Merc. All right, let's go to Defensive Player of the Year. I actually think this is. I'm kind of bummed this market isn't up. I wanted to get in on this today because I think this is the one that might actually be impacted by Fee's absence.
I thought it was up at DraftKings.
It wasn't when I looked today. Is it up now? That'd be annoying.
I saw at least the circle. I can text somebody.
Yeah. So let me do the 2 questions we on this. So both, it's kind of funny. I mean, clearly we did these questions a week ago because the first one is any chance Collier wins both MVP and DPOI. That question I think was asked when Fee was healthy. We'll still answer it here right now. And then Tina asked, who do you guys think will win DPOI this year? Just straightforward. Who do you think should win or will win? 2 very different questions. So let me make sure I get that right. Who do you think will win? So to me, this is the spot that I think hurts Fee a little bit more. This injury brings her down a little bit. And the name that I want to go to, I think, is Gabby Williams. I think she has a chance to kind of make her move right now. She's right there. If you look at defensive metrics, defensive win shares, she's probably going to pass Fee while Fee is out. They've got the number 2 defense in Seattle right now. If Minnesota's defense slips a little bit without Fee, they take over that top defense in the league. Now it's a decent margin right now. I think it's about 2 points. But I think Gabby is very live in this. The flip side of it, if Fee's out for a while, the Lynx defense is still great. That might be how Alana Smith kind of makes her name. So I do think that this is where things cut in for Fee a little bit more. If Stewie had been healthy, I think she'd be live. But I think I think Gabby should be the favorite right now. And I do think that I think before the injury, I thought Fee was going to win MVP. I thought Fee was going to win DPOI. I now think she's still the favorite to win MVP, but it's close. And I actually think she's been passed in DPOI. What are your thoughts on this award?
I think she's still the favorite. I mean, I don't remember the voters going too heavy on just steals, which I think people I know you didn't make the argument for it, but a lot of people do. Like the defensive win shares and Seattle's defensive rating does matter. But like, I will, I think if you were somebody that didn't want Gabby to win, just go post a ton of clips of Rakia Jackson just smoking the shit out of her the other night. Like, like she's like had moments, but like, I just don't. I don't know if there's any other player though. I think Gabby is the obvious next choice. So,
it's really interesting you bring that up because you're right that it would not fit any sort of historical model. So basically, it's mostly an award for bigs, and the 2 or 3 times it hasn't, it's gone to guards. There's really never this been wings, and like you said, she's got the steals, and she's got like a pretty big margin. It's actually kind of funny. Can you guess who? So there's a player who's in second who like vaguely makes sense, but they're not healthy. So the player who is healthy and has played enough games, can you guess who is the closest to her in steals per game? So she's at like, I think 2.6, and this player's at 1.8. I don't think it would be a name that many people guessed. I'll give you that hint.
Kelsey Plum.
It's a good guess. It's Paige Beckers. Paige Beckers is second in among healthy players. Ariel Atkins is actually second, but she's out right now. Yeah. So, like you said, steals maybe not the perfect indicator of actual defensive skill, but there's a little bit of narrative around her that Seattle defense is good. I think NECA should be getting buzz, but I have not heard anyone say anything at any point this season about NECA.
Most underrated star ever.
What's that?
Most underrated star ever.
Truly, truly is. Yeah. It would be great if that narrative came out of nowhere, but I don't see it. So I personally would be leaning towards Gabby. It sounds like you're still on Fee. Do you think Alana has any chance or not really?
Not really, unless like they just go crazy. I just feel like Fee
gets that credit.
Yeah, and to voters I talked to at least, she's been like the one that they say, and it's never really a thought process. It's like, yeah, she's going to win both this year. So, I mean, I think it's definitely possible still, depending on what happens with this injury.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Let's go to one that will be very quick. We don't spend much time here. Anil asks, who in your opinion is currently the rookie of the year and why? I mean, I love Sonia Citron, and she's legit been playing great. But I mean, Paige Beckers has run away with this award. She's playing like one of the best players in the league. She's averaging 19, 4, 5, and 2 since the All-Star break on 47, 38, and 95 shooting. They're plus 6.8 better, like her on-off differential. She's impactful. She's just one of the best players in the league already. It's been awesome to see. She's got such a fun style of play. I mean, are you zagging at all here, or are you just?
I can't. I wish Sonia Citron got more love, and I think wins used to matter in this country. I'm just kidding.
Wow, you hit us with the "in this country."
I'm just playing. No, I say in this country, in this economy. Whatever. This economy.
I mean, it is a fair point. Washington's rookies. If you look at the beginning of the year, Dallas and Washington had similar win totals, like from Vegas, and one of them has outperformed, and Sonia gets a lot of credit.
But like, if the Mystics don't make the playoffs, like, what's the difference between 17 wins and 11 wins? If you're not in the top 8. So my question is, if the Mystics do make the playoffs, do you think voters care?
I don't. For rookie of the year, usually I don't think ties too much. And if Paige is playing like B level, I think that it could be a conversation. I still think she would win, but I think it would be like at least worth like us talking about it. But I think that she's locked it up.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I'm surprised at those numbers, especially with like the last few shooting games. She ended up having a nice fourth quarter. She was stinking it up in that Fever game to start. Ended up 7 for 14. She's had some inefficient games here and there, but yeah, I mean, there's no doubt. It's also like if you're thinking about it, like if you could have pick one rookie from this class, like to have on your roster, who would it be? It's a very obvious answer. So,
not that Sonia, I think is very well liked. Paige seems like one of the most beloved athletes in the league right now in general.
I remember when she wasn't even doing well at the very beginning, and people were like, "Paige's the rookie of the year."
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
doesn't matter. So,
all right, so let's move along. Let's do coach of the year, and I really like. So this is a question from Josh, and I really like the way he frames this because this is kind of how I've been thinking of it. But then when I did it this way and wrote it all out, I actually kind of changed my mind a little bit. But who wins coach of the year if it's between a 3-seed Phoenix and an 8-seed Golden State? And now I think we need to add to this question. This was asked a week ago. I think we need to add to it a 3-seed Phoenix or a 3-seed Atlanta and an 8-seed Golden State. So what are your thoughts? I keep rambling first. I'll defer to you this time. What are your thoughts on this split? Like, do you think the seeding matters when it comes to coach of the year, or how are you kind of looking at this market?
I think no matter what, if Valks make playoffs, like, it might be unanimous.
Wow.
Besides the in-market voters, like usually each team will have like a designated voter, basically, like somebody from that market. I think Natalie will run away with it. Natalie is like head and shoulders above so many coaches in this league. It's mind blowing. What she's doing with like injuries, the situation. I mean, like I'm floored, and yeah, even if Atlanta gets a 3-seed or Phoenix, like I just don't. If the Valks are in the playoffs, it is 100% Natalie's.
So that's mostly where I had been. I've had a couple folks talking me off this, and I will say the market has just, I think because those folks have been betting it, and it's now Smesco is the favorite at plus 300, Tibbetts at plus 350, Natalie at plus 400. Yeah. I think there's some skepticism of if Golden State is going to make the playoffs right now, but I do wonder. I mean, they keep winning close games, and I do not think that is a coincidence with her as the coach. And it's like a double bonus. It's like not only do they win the close games, she gets credit for their record in those close games, so it only helps even more. I do think the Sparks are playing well and very live for that 8-seed. I think Washington is live for that 8-seed. This is one we talked about last week. That's so interesting. This is where I was before today, that I was thinking if they make the playoffs, she wins it. But if Atlanta could get the 2-seed, like they're only a game back of New York right now. If we get a 2-seed Atlanta, an 8-seed Valkyries, is it still Natalie, you think?
Yeah.
I leaned that way earlier today, and so maybe
I think you can give so much credit to like an improved roster with Atlanta. Like, you got Bree Jones, you got Brittany Griner.
Yeah.
Alicia Gray's taking a step forward. Jordan Canada's healthy.
Yeah, that's very fair. What about Phoenix? What about 2-seed Phoenix if that happened?
I could say the same thing, right? Like Phoenix, you
just have better players.
Yeah, I mean, you went from dragging DT's ass around, on the last stretch of her career, couldn't guard a trash bag, to, one of the best defenders in the league, the triple double machine, the Satu Sabli, a unicorn, and of course you found all this incredible talent in Cole McConney, Lexi Held, Westbeld. So I just think what Natalie has already done, and I'm glad. I'm happy with my ticket. I mean, it'd be so, there's some scary things. I only have Valks to get the 8th seed. There's a world where they get the 7th, and the Aces drop to 8th. So
what if the Valks land at 9 or 10 and are outside of the playoffs? Does she still have a chance?
I think she gets votes, but I think it goes to Smesco or Divots.
So the playoffs is kind of the proxy for this award. I 100%. Think I'm mostly with you, which then is, I mean, Valks to make the playoffs is much shorter than plus 400. So if you're in on the Valks and you believe that they can keep it going, I think you bet her coach of the year. I think that's the way you do it. And then if you're skeptical, then you just stay off of them and maybe bet Tibbetts or Smesco or something. There's one other name I want to throw out there, a name that we have given crap to before, but Steph White has done pretty good job with this Indiana Fever team without Caitlin. They're up to 17-12. She's plus 1,000. Is there any chance she should be in this conversation?
No.
I knew you were. I thought there's 0% chance that you would be like, yeah, give me some Steph White stock.
I mean, I gotta do more research to find out exactly who is voting. I only know a few, but I I think I know the temperature of the room, and I don't think that they would be awarding that to Steph White.
I would be pretty surprised as well. It just is worth noting that they have the success they have had of late.
Yeah, like I think Debbie Antonelli, if she's a voter, would vote for Steph White. But
I'm gonna leave that right there. All right, and finally,
that can stay. I hope that stays in like that, please.
Oh, it'll stay in. I'm just gonna let it be a Dano comment that I move along from. The
Sure.
final one is a made-up award. We have it in the NBA. I'd love if it came to the WNBA at some point. Michael asks, who do you think is the most clutch player in the WNBA? This is obviously a little different in the NBA. They have the clutch player of the year. So this is zoomed out. This is who is the most clutch player in the W. Before we get to it, Dano, I have a quiz for you. Can you guess? Hopefully you didn't look in doing research for this question. Can you guess who has the most total points in the clutch this season?
They'd have to have a lot of close games. So, are they a playoff team?
No, which is a big hint, I guess.
The Pagebackers?
No, although it's not a bad guess. She is she's 16 on it. It is
Is it Brittany Sykes?
That's a very good guess. She's 3, and she has tied for the second most field goal attempts in the clutch. So they definitely go to her a lot.
Is it on that team?
Nope.
Okay. Is it Rickea Jackson?
It's her teammate.
Kelsey Plum?
It is Kelsey Plum. And it's not the most efficient. She just has a ton. She's taking a lot of threes. She has 49 points in the clutch.
I mean, Rickea Jackson in that game against Seattle, and she had the game winner against New York.
Yep.
I mean, but yeah, Kelsey Plum. I don't know. If I had to pick a clutch player, though, I don't know. I just don't know if we've seen. I mean, I feel like that was like a kind of like you need a few game winners to win that award in the NBA. I wouldn't follow.
Plum would not be I'll say it this way. Plum would not be my winner either for this season or for in general. I actually made a list of 10 players and Plum was not on it. This is not to shade her. It's just there's a lot of really good players. You know who's number 2 this season? Our favorite, most overlooked, underrated superstar, NECA, is second in this, which I think is really impressive. Biggs, Asia Wilson's like 20th. Bigs usually are not on this list. It's just, again, NECA fucking rules, and we need to say that more often. My
Jeff Bomb.
Oh yeah, shout out to Joe Dallaire if he's listening at this point. Do you have an official list, or do you want to rattle off some names? I have an official top 6, and then a couple of fun names here.
All right, you can name yours, and I'll say my top 3 at the end.
Okay, I went with Alyssa Thomas, number 1. I like if it is.
I was thinking that too,
because it's more than just scoring. I think if the game is online, the ball is going to be in her hands, and she's going to be more likely to score. You see her score more in close games, and she's going to create. I just think overall, she's absolute dog. We've got Fee number 2. The best players are usually the most clutch players. Like that turnaround jumper, I trust that about as much as anything in the game. I've got Skylar Diggins, number 3, also kind of that dog mentality. We've seen her hit game winner after game winner after game winner and do her, crazy face celebration. I've got Sabrina, number 4. We saw it in the finals. We also saw the flip side of it in the finals. She's definitely not scared to take big shots. I think that's pretty key. We've got NECA, number 5. What do we have? Number 5. Again, overlooked, overrated, or underrated perpetually. Alicia Gray and Jackie Young are 2 players that are on this list as well. Maybe in that second tier there. But I'm curious to hear your list. And then I've got a couple of fun names that were on the list this year.
Yeah, for me, Alicia Gray would be around the top. Alyssa Thomas.
I found it interesting. Asia Wilson was not even on my long list. I think,
on mine.
Yeah, and it's not shade. I think she just doesn't really. I don't think of her as taking over down the clutch in games like that.
Yeah, I gotta give love to Alicia, Alyssa Thomas.
I like it. That's a good big 3. A couple of names that I thought were pretty interesting on this list. As if I needed to, I think I am the number one person in the Shakira Austin fan club. Shakira Austin is a great clutch player. She's really efficient. She's got great plus minus. She scores, she rebounds, she plays defense. She has blocks and steals in the clutch. Shakira Austin is amazing. I love Shakira Austin. Erica Wheeler is one that wasn't on the list, but when I watch games, it feels like Erica Wheeler is always at least shooting in the clutch. I don't know if she's always making in the clutch, but she is not scared of the moment at all. And then the 2025 rookie class, Akani, I'm forgetting her name now, but Akoa Makani. Yeah, she has been amazing in the clutch this year. She's like a top 10 scorer. Her plus minus is through the roof. Paige Beckers, you shouted out, has been good. And then the Mystics rookies, Sonia Citron and Kiki Iriafen have been excellent. And then Janelle Salon, in the very small sample, has also been excellent. So this 2025 rookie class, we got some clutch rookies on the rise. Any of those names jump out to you for any final comments before we get out of here?
Sonia.
Did you see all of her teammates doing the like dance move to her?
Yeah, dude, that TikTok. Holy. Yeah.
Oh, good, man.
Mystics are fun.
They are.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a fun thing, and I hope we get to a point where that award is like monitored and added. So
it'll be awesome.
Great question.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Michael. Thanks to everyone who submitted mailbag questions. We're gonna keep rolling these. I mean, we've got a couple dozen still left. There's some really good ones. There's some off-season ones we could probably even tackle. So really appreciate it. I'm not sure if people send in stuff still, if it'll come through, but always feel free to DM me. Dano's always chatting up with folks. So always send us along. It's really fun to have your questions. They're really good questions. And as for the betting side of things, if you'd like to tail any of the bets we made today, look in the quick slip link in the episode description, and we will post our Survivor Parlay on the Parlay Express account as well. Download the Action Network app if somehow you haven't. If you're listening to this as a podcast, please rate and review. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. Thanks to David Payne on the audio, Gifford Gould and the YouTube squad. For Dano and myself, let's get buckets.